the Mets went the route of getting Paul Blackburn, who you almost need to look at this trade in two ways. Joe, I think one is the fact that is Blackburn the starter that is going to, and I hope I'm wrong about this, the starter that's going to completely kind of tip things in the Mets' favor for not only the stretch run, but the playoffs? No. Is he an upgrade over Tyler McGill right now? I think, honestly, quite yes. And the Mets needed that on the back end of this rotation right now. And when you look at acquiring him, the cost was Cade Morris. Once again, another prospect outside your top 20, an interesting pitcher, but on the back end of the depth of the system where that's affordable. And the last thing I'll say, Joe, before I toss to you, Paul Blackburn is under control for next year. It's not always about the Mets filling out a perfect five rotation. Sometimes it's about what they did this offseason, whether it's Adrian Hauser, and they looked at Jose Butto like this in the winter. What do your 6, 7, and 8 look like? Because realistically, you're going to lose arms to injuries, and the 6, 7, and 8 are going to play a role in your season. Now Paul Blackburn is not only a short-term little shot in the arm for depth, but he's also some long-term depth as well.
The extra year of control is huge. And considering what these other stars went for, like we were talking about Rogers and Kikuchi and, all these stars got such a huge haul. The Mets being able to pull off Blackburn, and yes, I understand that other pitchers have more upside than Paul Blackburn does. He is your prototypical back end of the rotation type of starter. He throws the kitchen sink at you. StatCast has him throwing 6 different pitches. He throws strikes. He generates ground balls. He doesn't get a ton of swing and misses, so he's not coming in and striking out a bunch of guys. His game is inducing weak contact and getting it on the ground and throwing strikes. And one thing that we complain about a lot as Mets fans, when Tyler McGill loses the strike zone, when David Peterson loses the strike zone, that is not something that you should expect to happen all that frequently with Paul Blackburn. And when you talk about that extra year of control, Luis Severino is a free agent at the end of the year. Jose Quintana is a free agent at the end of the year. Sean Manaea could opt out at the end of the year. Kodai Senga should theoretically be healthy going into next year, obviously off the calf strain. Christian Scott, still up in the air what his elbow is going to look like when we get towards the end of the season and into the offseason. So having just an arm that can be there and maybe he is your fifth starter. Maybe he is a long reliever in 2025, but it's like you said, a little bit of a shot in the arm to the back end of the rotation now and just helps for the roster construction for 2025.